Federal Chair Jerome Powell is at it again. Take a look at this headline with us. Fed Chair Powell says interest rates are likely to be higher than previously anticipated. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Tuesday cautioned that interest rates are likely to head higher than central bank policymakers had expected, citing data earlier this year showing that inflation has reversed the deceleration it showed in late 2022. The central bank leader warned of tighter monetary policy ahead to slow a growing economy. That reporting is coming from CNBC News. Further, Powell said that the current trend shows that the Fed's inflation fighting job is not over, though he noted that some of the hot January inflation data could be the product of unseasonably warm weather. He is quoted as saying, "We have covered a lot of ground and the full effects of our tightening so far are yet to be felt. Even so, we have more work to do." Adding that the road there would be bumpy indeed. Now, the announcement of rate hikes did not go over well with some of the Dem senators who were in committee yesterday listening to Chairman Powell. I want you to take a look at this exchange between Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts and Chairman Jerome Powell.
We are taking the only measures we have to bring inflation down.
And putting 2 million people out of work is just part of the cost, and they just have to bear it.
Will working people be better off if we just walk away from our jobs and inflation remains 5-6%?
And then Senator Warren wasn't having any of it. You sense the arrogance in Chairman Powell's kind of, what would you have? But she took him to school. Take a look.
Since the end of World War II, there have been 12 times in which the unemployment rate has increased by 1 percentage point within 1 year. Exactly what you're aiming to do right now. How many of those times did the US economy avoid falling into a recession?
It's not as black and white as it very
Just
very
looking
infrequent.
at the numbers, it actually is pretty black.
Alan
and white.
Blinder's written a book on this, and
there have been 12 times that we've seen a 1 point increase in the unemployment rate in a year. That's exactly what your Fed report has put out as the projection and the plan based on how you're going to keep raising these interest rates. How many times did the economy fail to fall into a recession after doing that? Out of 12 times.
I think the number is 0.
I think the number is 0. That's exactly right.
Get him, Senator Warren. You let him know. You don't come all up in my domain asking me questions. I ask the questions here, sir. Oh yeah, she set him up real good, Jackson. She took him all the way to school and she got right to the point. And this point is this: if our financial system's vitality depends on folks suffering, being unemployed, then there's something wrong with the system. Hello, somebody on that? I mean, it's just as simple as that. And my stunt double, she always has something to say. This is what she said on Twitter. Damn, breaking it down even more. Poor people are just collateral damage in this scheme. And that is really, truly what this comes down to. And former Labor Secretary Robert Reich, our in-house expert, vehemently disagrees with Powell. But he said raising interest rates is a terrible mistake. Bold that, underline it, underscore it, message in a bottle on a train, not carrying chemicals, or on a plane known as Southwest. The Fed assumes inflation is being driven by wage increases. Ain't that some stuff? I mean, okay, let me just keep on reading. That is false. That is false. Wage growth has lagged far behind inflation. You know what's a real driver of inflation? So glad you asked this question. Monopolistic corporations jacking up prices to maximize their profits.